by thinking, oh well, all the seats are empty behind, because even the Phil, at the early stages of the World Championships and these multi-table events, actually sitting in the arena, that's not the case at all. You can literally get to Phil.
And also, if you get positioned in a certain way, you can see multiple tables at the same time.
This match underway, battle of the two young guns from the Philippines, where
the scores of matches that are still in progress. Two just catching the point of the middle. Raga's perpetual motion, isn't he? He's always full of beans around the table. Didn't really get hold of that cue ball though, did he?
Beans at breakfast, Phil. Not quite got the power there. I think, goes without saying, there's always challenge matches and gambling matches very correctly as well. Everybody knows everybody, so you have these challenge matches. And remember a couple of years ago, which was the last World Championships Matchroom did before, was it 2021, was it? Is that when it was, Phil? So obviously they had that long gap. It was in the Philippines in 2007. Went over and played in that event and spent a little bit of time, played in another tournament which was actually hosted by Manny Pacquiao, and went in the pool halls, and let me tell you, even the guy who was sweeping the floor, when he picked the cue up off the rack, he could play the game. I'm not even joking. It was...
Well, let's put it this way. We've got the inaugural Reyes Cup in the Philippines. This will not be the case, but if 5 Filipinos took on Europe, they could win.
Yes, they could win, but you could say the same for Chinese Taipei, China. They've got unbelievable talent in Asia, and that's always been desperate for a tournament where Asia plays Europe or America. We've been crying out for it for such a long time.
It's easy now against Farhad Al-Dayan, looking for a winner's collar. Aranas, his lead has been eroded to 6-4. It's also 6-4 for Moritz Neuhaus Gangflow, 5-4 for Jan van Lierop over Tobias Bongers, Chang Yulong over Khalid Al-Artabi. Other matches that are out there that are in the very early stages. If you want to see Chang Junlin, by the way, against Othman Al-Zaron, it is on table 2 right now, and Chang is a massive favourite.
He's going to be kicking at this 2-ball. And it was a good kick, Phil. He hit it full, and the reason why he needed to hit it full, because the cue ball will then roll up the top end of the table. Myself and Phil are sat up on the arena, and there's 4 practice tables just to our left, and are warming up, Phil. We've obviously got the Saudi Junior Championships taking place as well.
Jason Shaw Junior event at the UK Open, the Shane Van Boning equivalent.
Yeah, and the final of the Saudi Junior Championships will be played on the Matchroom Pool YouTube channel. He looks well for his age, doesn't he?
Always smiling, always laughing.
I mean, you look well for 84, Phil, it has to be said. Got to get the cue ball moving though, he's got to get it round the table. Missed it by a long way. Fedor, of course, is regarded as the best player on tour with the short stick. A lot more important back in the olden days, kicking at the ball more.
Yeah, Gorst has just won a smaller World 9 Ball Tour ranking event, over in 7,000 ranking points for his success. He's number 2 in the rankings behind a radical shake at the end of this championship. Talking of the rankings on the World 9 Ball Tour, Bernie Regalario 80th.
Yeah, he's going to play some sort of cannon here, isn't he? He might try and go into that purple 5 ball. Yeah, went into them both. That's okay. You can play this in the corner.
He is right behind you, and sometimes the reverberations can be felt. Let's put it.
Doesn't it? It's for this multi-table setup where you can just mooch around the arena, listen to a bit of music.
Yeah, when I first found out that these major events would have a musical backdrop, as it were, I wondered whether the slightest.
That's because you're from the boring world of snooker, Phil.
Guilty on all charges. Now, I really did think, even will it affect my own? And in fact, it's...
Phil, you could sit front row with the largest bag of chips.
Yeah, and you talk about snooker. If someone rattles a sweet paper there, the referee tells them to desist. As referees, please stop rattling those sweetie papers, he used to say.
Well, we did edge on the side of Raga in this match if we had to pick a player. So far so good, still early days.
Yeah, looks good. I gather from the way he played in Hanoi, he'll be perfectly fine. Yeah, the great story about John Morrow, of course, is that he switched hands.
Yeah, that's wild, that, isn't it? To think he played right-handed all his life, and then 3 or 4 years ago, I think it was a shoulder or a neck, he was having troubles getting down on the cue, but when he really landed, it didn't hurt. He just went full time and did it. I mean, that doesn't get enough plaudits for my liking, Phil. What a
well, he earned the nickname Mario Tomorrow because he used to finish after midnight.
Wow, love it.
There was also a famous incident. A man who's known for his commentary, the great, and he very nearly made a 147 in that match. I think he missed the green.
I knew you'd have some stories about Mario Morrow, Phil. I just knew it.
Yeah, I think his nickname was absolutely brilliant. It was nothing to do with me. It was put in him by someone else. But yeah. Well, of course, Eddie Charlton from Australia, the Australian government, he was Eddie Charlton AM, and that was very appropriate as well because he often finished after midnight also.
The ball's 5 is. It's over that right hand middle pocket. That means it's going to be easy getting on this green 6. Tiny bit awkward, the green 6. Not saying it's difficult, but it goes in the left corner. Could play for the combo, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did that.
This is just Raga efficiency.
In the end.
Incredible. Oh, look at that. That little positional kiss to promote the...
And he might just take a long 7 here. They play their own way though. Yeah, they're not scared to pinch a bit and load it up with spin. Why not? He's landed perfect on the 7. See him sat in the chair. He's got work to do in this match, you feel.
And you're looking here, for me, at a proper contender for the title. That's how good Raga can.
Well, he's definitely a contender. He's got heart, he's got bottle, he's got the game. Working us to play funny old shots that you need on a pool table as well. He's a great shot. Of course, he's going to be a good kicker. And he's 3-0 up here in this battle of the countrymen.
Mexican
Player that was nicknamed the Dancing Bear.
Alain Martel.
Yes, Alain Martel. Like one of them cardigans your granddad used to wear. What a character he was back in the day. I used to love watching him. I was just a young lad who was playing some English 8-ball in the bars and the pubs in Manchester, and I used to watch the world champion.
Who was from the Philippines, and I think they got to the semi-final on, yeah?
Well, I remember being I sort of got into it professionally, and it was the year Mellin beat Davis, and he ended up playing Alain. You think, what a character this Martel fella is.
Yeah, big guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, I don't know if he's still about. Phil, have you heard him or?
No.
So many players worldwide, but not just players, Phil. Just in certain countries. I mean, worldwide. Me and JJ, like I said, we was doing a bit of work with this little lad just in front of us, Phil. He's actually sat on the table. You want to watch this boy really well, haven't we? In the Kingdom of Sapphire. What a place. I was surprised, actually. I've had an unbelievable.
There's a snooker, which Ronnie O'Sullivan won, and that was extraordinary week. One I'll never forget. The atmosphere for the final, top notch, and I'm sure what we're watching from Anton Raga is something of a masterclass.
It's been clinical. And this is what he does. He's got this little super cue action. He cues very close to the cue ball, rather. And he's won the opening.
Albin Aushin is now in front. What a marathon, though, over on table 97. Chang Yulong beat Khalid Al-Atabi 9-4. James Aranas. It's now 6-5 for Aranas over Farhad. Albert Manus on the main table has taken the first rack from John Morra. Chang Junlin 2-0 up on Othman. That's on table 2. You can see that on the Matchroom Multisport YouTube channel. Francesco Candela 6-4 on Patrick.
One ball is still on the table. It was a little bit thin, but been fortunate way through this gap. Plays the game at a good pace as well, a bit like Labutis in the opening match. They fall into that bracket of players where they just...
Yeah, there's something very intriguing about the subculture of money matches that you were talking about before, Carl. What would be the lengthiest...
This is where the Filipinos are clever. I think it might have gone...
A little too much zest in the cue ball. So Regalario now, with this chance, needs to make his presence felt.
And over on our feature table, the main table, we spoke about John Morra against AJ Manus. Well, it's Manus who's at table, Phil. I think he's won the opening 2.
A really good friend of mine, David Hendon, who is renowned as one of the finest snooker commentators in the game, and he's dipping his broadcasting he will really enjoy this experience.
Branching out. Regalio's got to get something going here. The opening 2, so he leads 2-0 over John Morra. Only a young...
channel has been announced. I'll let you know what it is at the end of this rack.
he was close, wasn't he? You could see why he wanted to go for it. He knew the cue ball was a little, I don't want to say slow, but you know, the dry-sided matches, don't you, over the early stages.
Can have blockbuster contests from the very first round, and this is a case in point.
Could thump it round the table, but boy, he's got to hit it hard. He has to hit this very... You can see how much spin he was putting on the ball. Needs a good clip off the 7. Couple of things might happen here. Raga might pop the ball, but in the 8, that's the cue ball. Gonna leave a pot.
Rifled in. And Regalario should be getting off the mark. Well, I say he should be. That was a woeful positional shot
as well. Can't afford to hit that near jaw. Yep, you just can't afford to hit the near jaw, Phil. He just clipped the near jaw, didn't he? We might get a look at...
In rack 1, he just clipped that near jaw, stayed on the table nicely, and ever since he's been in command, and that's where he remains. The 9 ball for 5-0. 28
players start out, so Regalario still in this match. I'm not saying he's lost yet, but if he does go on to lose bracket to qualify for the 64, and that's what it's all about, Phil. Make sure your name is in the draw for the final 60.
It will be on the Matchroom Pool YouTube channel, of course. Commentary provided by Michael McMullen will. And I think we can confidently say, Carl, that he's the only frost inside, even though Raga is looking good. His break-off has been no in our previous contest. But things are just not happening. Give you those at the end of this rack. He seems composed though, even though he's in trouble.
Raga's had it all. He's the one who's relaxed at the table, but sometimes you've got to just try and grind out a match, grind out a win. It can do you wonders in a tournament of this magnitude as well, so that's the position. Bernie Reg, the balls don't look too bad. 4 to the 5 seems to be the big shot.
You can see there, Rog, such a wonderful kicker of the ball. I think Regalario was pleasantly surprised.
Than others in the old shot selection department.
Who would you say is the finest player you've ever seen in terms of be John Higgins? So I'll make that vote right now, but in pool, your choice?
He sees the table the right way. Maybe certainly Albin, he has this ability to just hold back and read the table and think, not really feeling this, so I'll play safe. Yeah, and also understanding where your opponent's at as well. They always say play the table, not your opponent, but it's probably one of the worst. Gone.
Bridging over the 8 ball. Regalario did really well there with running with the cue ball welded to that side cushion. The 7 is not quite Gimme especially.
We talk about decisions, Phil. This is another one. The cue ball's too near the rail. Thump it and spin the cue ball. You can miss the ball.
In Telford at the UK Open, that would have remained on the...
Yeah, he missed the ball, but it's just that extra turn, that extra... And cloth, it's... Unless you play the game at a certain worn in, a couple of weeks playing a pool room, it plays so different. Well, Phil, no one is going to be track of the championship.
Whitewash reduced to 5-1, so lots of unfinished business. Let me give you the scores. Real marathon over on table 4, bearing in mind Chang Jun Lin now 4-1 up on Othman. 8 racks each. Double hill. Shade dress of the host nation. Michael Feliciano of the Philippines 2-1 up on Michael Schneider. Of Finland 3-2 on Abdullah Al Yusuf. Macklin, of course, a deep run at the recent UK Open. Tim de Ruyter 2-1 over Marion Ocean and Fu Chi Wei.
One ball. Yeah, that looks like it goes past the 7 to me. Close. Raga cues to the cue ball, a little bit like Jason Shaw. He's another one who cues very close to the... He took a gamble there and doesn't have to play the pot. He's got hook, but he could play the pot. Yeah, I don't blame him for that. Don't blame him at all.
Yeah, the percent.
The match he was talking about, so Fu Jie Wei is at the table. We'll keep you posted on who wins that match.
Yes, just to it's worth repeating again. This is a modified double elimination tournament, so
because he can put the cue ball where he wants, he should find that right angle, the angle that he needs. He'll probably play the red 3 first. Gone wrong. We may well see another hook.
Well, we were talking about pool nicknames earlier, Carl. And of course one of them that is right.
That was a test, Phil, but if it wasn't, I passed it anyway. The legend from America, Mike Siegel. Liked to talk, did that man. He'll get back in the match, or is Raga just gonna break away and win easy? Someone who's not going to win easy. So I can't quite see the table, but I know Fu Jie Wei is still at the table.
And we've just heard some applause, so maybe that's significant.
No, Fu Jie Wei still from that match, but I'll tell you what, Burnett is going to be in trouble here. Cue ball touching the 7, but he hasn't done that, so Bernie will kick this ball now. Yeah, if the cue ball was on top of the brown 7, see Albin Ocean's gone straight to the table to set that combo back up, so I don't know how easy the combo was, but it was a combination. Albin Ocean has to win 2 from 2 now, Phil.
We've had some major casual. Neil Svyan, David Al-Kadi, Albin Ocean. Well, he's been consistently in progress.
This 3 ball does it? It'll be disappearing now though. Ball in hand. he's looking at trying to draw into the green 6 here, but he could actually pot the red 3, come up near where the racking area is, but with ball in hand, clearly fancies trying to make something happen and make sure a ball with your hand, that would be a foul. If one of these balls moves, it would. Could also chip the pink 4 near the 8 ball, and it can happen in this visit, but he doesn't really need to. Just get the cue ball on the right. Okay, found a 3-ball combo. The 8 or the green 6. Yeah, he is. Has he hit one? No, he's not. It's just not happening, is it? The balls are coming out all.
As you say, one of those matches where
Needs this to keep going. It hasn't. Raga can pop this.
an awful lot of movement on that shot, but also an awful lot of side to gain position. Cue ball manoeuvrability followed. The 7's on, and so is the rack.
Yeah, the pace looks very good here. Knock the ball in, cue ball will float up. Normal service, resume.
(6-1) to Anton Raga Coliseum in Manila, which is the site of the Thriller in Manila, the great historical boxing bout between Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, that's right. It was a brilliant arena, massive from what I remember, absolutely gigantic arena.
I think it's given us an awful lot of clues about how well Anton Raga's playing. Very tidily.
Butchered it, completely butchered it. Sounds like the DJ's gone for some food, Phil. The music's gone off. This lacks bass. He was trying something similar.
It's getting to the point now Regalario puts together a few racks, because a 9-1 defeat, he has to make the most of this. Oh, and on saying that, the 4-ball to the purple 5, but clearly it's a wide open gap.
Have they played many matches against each other? Who's got the better of it? Agaraz, looking at the way both players have played in this one.
When you're 6-1 down, it doesn't pay to... Regalario did just that. And now Anton Raga. Snyder 5-2 for Petri Makinen over Abdullah Al Yusuf, and 5-2 also for Mario He.
Yeah, using the 7 ball as a blocker. Well, the way Bernie's played in this match, I think he might. 9 into the opposite middle. It's close, but it's no good.
And of course, those who win the first round matches today themselves the rest of the day off, because winners' qualification is tomorrow.
Top pocket. Yep. Easy. Starting out on table 14, right in front of me and Phil. It's almost like we're sat front row, and it's Baselge against the young American Sam.
Yes, and the link between that and this is that the winner of the 2 matches play each other. Favourite, there's no doubt. But Sam Henderson has got an awful lot of potential.
Yeah, I would give Patel's the edge in that match, but I would not. The Henderson victory was there, but I know what you mean. Didn't see this scoreline coming though. Things from Bernie Regalario, I really did. I thought this may be one of them matches where it goes back and forth.
Yeah, we could be presiding. And now it looks like being a similar story with Anton Raga, the beneficiary. He's not had a good match, but without being flashy, just very... Raga has looked like what he is, an authentic...
Yeah, it's just building up nicely, isn't it? It's Raga. We feel like he's going to be one of the players who could go on the snap list.
And I can tell you, Joshua Fillers lost the second rack against Zhao. 1-1 there.
Push up. Push.
One thing, he's got almost an assailable lead. He's not taking any risk whatsoever. Not pushing out any boat.
Playing the correct hit. If you're tuning into this match on our YouTube channel, our main feature match, John Morat against Albert Manas, the young Filipino, really young in fact. He won the Hanoi Junior Open last year.
As for this one, in near sight.
Yeah, just connect the dot other than where it is now. How does that?
Well, they call him the Dragon, don't they, Anton Raga? And he certainly breathed a certain amount of fire in this match. One result over Bernie Regalario would be a result that resounds around this arena. In just this second, they spotted the 9 ball to take a 7-2 lead over Othman Al-Zarani.
Three balls away from winning. It's been a performance to forget about.
Yeah, this should instill quite a lot of confidence in the mind of Anton Raga. The good news is Scott Frost has just turned up for... It will be Duong Kwok Wang against To Lian Han next.